Hello, my name is Tim. I'm a customer consultant at Reshape Biotech. I now want to talk again about the difference between a plate type and a plate template. Right now we have used a plate type, meaning that every time you click the Create Plate button from here, you're going to create these empty multiple plates, and then you have to associate the well properties to the wells. You can do this in an easier way by utilizing templates, basically designing a plate template as you would do that in the lab as well, and then just copying that and change one parameter, for example, or two parameters to screen a library of strains or a library of different compounds, for example. So go over here, and then for plate templates, scroll all the way to the bottom until you see new plate template. Click that, and then give it a name. And the format, we're going to go with 12 well here as well. The key difference between a plate type and a plate template is that you can use set and variable properties in a plate template. In the previous step, we have used a plate type, the 12 well plate, and we have created empty 12 well plates by clicking on the button, and then we had to assign the well properties, right? You will have to do this every time from scratch. Yes, you have the properties prepared and ready for you through the experiment, but you still have to do the assignments. For a plate template, we are basically just doing this once, and then we are going to copy this specific plate over and over. But we need to be flexible, right? So we can say that, for example, the organism is always going to be the same. It's always going to be baker's yeast. So this is a set property. You can apply that. Same goes for media. It's always going to be YPD. But for treatment, it's going to be different. We had fungicide X as an example treatment in the previous step. But what if I also had fungicide Y, Z, whatever? We need to make this a variable treatment. So if I want to use 10 plates, for example, I can test 10 different fungicides, right, for the same samples. Let's add a variable. So the user will have to specify which treatment exactly was used for that specific plate, but I can already prepare the volume and the concentration of my treatment. So for example, if I wanted to do this and this, mark that as the control, and then always have this layout. And same goes for sample. Maybe I want to test the same treatment but with 20 different samples, right? If I do a full tray and I'm doing 2 samples per plate, then that's 20 samples. So you can do something like this. Variable. Just add the amount here. And then another one. And then create that template. I now went back to our experiment from the beginning and switched out the 12 well plate type against the template that we just made. I'm also going to add a couple more treatments that the user can then select from. So we are going to go and add fungicide Y and fungicide Z, like this. We don't need to do the variants here because those were specified on the template, right? This is the leftover from when we used the plate type. You will see in the next step what happens now when we are creating plates by using a plate template. So create plates and make sure that it says your plate template in here. And then let's do 3 now. I don't have to assign anything anymore for the set parameters, the set properties, like the organism and the media. However, I can't create these plates now because I still have to resolve the variable properties, the treatments. I have 3 different treatments here because I have a plate template that had 1 variable treatment and I copied that 2 times, meaning that I now can do 3 different treatments. So if you click on this, then it basically selects or suggests to select the one that you have specified in the experiment. So you can go with fungicide X for the blue one here, and then fungicide Y for the green, and fungicide Z for the red ones. And same goes for samples, right? Here you can go with this one and so forth. And once you have resolved all of this, you can then create these 3 plates.